Hey, welcome to the podcast.
Good afternoon.
How are y'all doing?
That's JD. I'm Chad, as usual.
Yeah, this is podcast on the influence. We talk about sports and fun shit.
Episode 15.
Episode 1-5, big 1-5. All right, start off with let's jump right into some sports. Got the free agency looming in the NFL. Some big key names.
I can't believe everyone is surprised by the Patriots not wanting to re-sign Vince Wilfork because that's just kind of how they do business.
Well,
There are three franchises in the NFL notorious for cutting large salaries, trimming the fat, and that's the Patriots, the Steelers, and the Packers. Like the only thing the Packers have ever paid top dollar for is a quarterback.
yeah,
Same way with the Steelers.
Revis,
Well, there was that. But then the Patriots
and
are
Gronk,
notorious.
Gronkowski. So there's certain
There's certain things they will let slide. I mean, you
things
got to
that
consider.
are absolute necessities to their strategy.
Yeah, but the two longest tenured players on that team now are the kicker and the quarterback. Yeah. And they gave the kicker the franchise tag. I still think that's hilarious.
I don't. No, Vince Wilfork. It makes complete sense because he's up almost 400 pounds now.
Yeah, but they
He's
were
a
looking.
big boy.
What were they looking at this year? Taking a $9 million hit.
Yeah,
He's owed
they
$4
want-
million on Tuesday.
He wants to. They want him to take a pay cut.
I'd shop his skills around if I were him. I know he loves being a Patriot, but there's a lot of. Now here was my thought about the way free agency would work.
Yeah.
If Houston had the money, if they got Wilfork and Sue and put them up there with Clowney and Watt, forget about it. That's a lights out defense. They wouldn't even need an offense.
They'd have the
defense
best
would
front
score all
four.
the points.
I'll give you that.
The defense would score all the points.
All they would do is they just throw quick passes before they can get to him. That's all they do. Just hike it, just throw quick passes. That's all. It's the only way you can beat them. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but I think that'd be a lights out D right there. I know they don't have the money to be able to do that, but it would be fun if they could and did.
Well, if they drafted a quarterback, they need to draft a quarterback. That's their. I like Houston personally. I like a lot of their players. I like Johnson. I like Foster. I like Johnson apparently is not.
He wants out. He
He's
wants
out.
gone.
And God, I need to shave. When my beard gets too rough, it gets itchy.
I finally did this week.
I need to shave.
I was letting it go for.
Just keep my face warm when I'm
lazy.
plowing, which I plowed this morning for no reason. I plowed at like 5 this morning.
Yeah, there was no point in it.
Yeah, there's no point.
I just left there on my way back here because I had to sign some paperwork, and it's just like, man, there's no point.
Yeah. Dominican Sue. I mean, Vince Wilfork. Let's go back to that real quick. He's a big boy. That guy's big. He's a good. He's getting up near the 400-pound range, which is it's why he's so good because it's hard to block. You got to double team him every time if you want to block him.
Yeah, but then that allows the little guys like Teddy Bruschi used to let him block and then run around him.
Yeah, or you got through your rookies with like was it Mayo and
Yeah, well, yeah. I
Who's
can't
the other
remember the other guy's name.
I can't
I
remember.
don't memorize the Patriots roster, and I never will.
I know Mayo because they traded up that year and got 2 linebackers in the same.
Yeah, well,
Same
that was the
round.
year Bruschi retired, wasn't it, or the
No,
year
that was
before?
that was a couple years before they retired.
Okay, because well, that's Teddy was talking about earlier on Sports Center was like they drafted Mayo, and he's like, what could I do? I knew I was on my way out at that point in time. They drafted him to replace me, and it was my job to make him as good as I was. That was it. He goes, and I was more than happy to do it because at the end of the day, it's not about my paycheck. It's about the number of championships sitting on your shelf. And I'm like, wow, Teddy Bruschi, I hate your guts, but that was pretty wise thing to say, bud.
Yeah. Teddy Bruschi, you can
I don't hate him, but
He hate who he played for.
I don't like him. I don't hate him. I don't like him.
So Dominican Sue, what do you think is the best fit for him? Don't say Detroit because Detroit ain't gonna get him back.
No,
want
they're
him
not
back.
going to get him back. The team that's most likely to get him is going to be Jacksonville because they have the most cap space. They have like $59 million,
69.
$69 million in their cap that they can blow.
There's a lot of people that do them, the Raiders, the Browns. Now that is a good.
That would be nice.
That would be nice.
He would work well in that defense because those guys are rough and tumble as it is.
Yeah.
I don't think they got the props they deserved last year. That defense.
I kind of
actually
hope
did
there's a
pretty decent.
huge article that the Redskins are apparently one of his top teams. He's a Redskin fan. So that's one of his top teams to go there, which I would like that, but my God, that would really hinder our cap space for the next couple of years.
Well, then you can't get the weapons you need.
We have the weapons we need on offense. It's everything else we have issues with. Our offensive line.
Yeah, but I mean, if you go out and spend all that money on one defensive guy, granted he's going to be a leader and he's going to get those guys. He's going to get those guys dancing to the right song.
It's not like the Hainsworth thing. We did that with Hainsworth. We went out and gave him like $100 million and $5 million, $50 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
And he was a waste of space. I don't think that's the issue with Dominican. You're not going to have that issue with Dominican Sue. He's just too good for. I think he's way better than Hainsworth ever was. Hainsworth is a really shitty version of Wilfork. I don't know.
I think Sue is a good buy because he's going to come in there, and if you got a lot of younger talent or unfocused talent, he's going to come in there and he's going to be pretty much. It's going to be his show, and if you don't respect him, you're going to be the one drowning in the tub of ice. So,
well, see, here the thing is with Sue is you don't have walker mission with Dominican Sue. It's always on the field. He doesn't even do anything off the field.
But he polarizes the defense. Everyone gets behind him. There's not one person on his team that was
I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying that the only issue you're going to have with him is he might do something stupid on the football field. Other than that, he's going to show up to work every day. He's going to play hard. He'll be one of the last ones to leave the gym. And he's going to make everyone around him play better, or you're going to get stepping. So
he'll run over himself.
Yeah, I mean, I hope they get him, but that would really solidify because the reason why that rumor is circling is because the Redskins dropped their two of their nose tackles, Cofield and Baker. So that's the rumor behind that. That's why they think that that's a big possibility because they dropped both of them to make room on their roster for him. So we'll see. But yeah, you're probably right. It probably is going to be one of the teams.
I figure it's going to be Jacksonville.
If you had to pick Sue or J.J. Watt, who would you pick? That's a good question. Huh?
I like Sue because he brings an intensity and passion to that line, and he's going to get everybody focused. But the Watt will do the same thing. The only difference is Watt's going to score points for the defense, and Watt, Sue is not going to. He might cause a fumble, but the likelihood of Sue jumping up, catching a ball, and actually running it 50 yards to score, he's a big boy. I'm not saying he can't do it. It's just highly unlikely that
I think the other issue you got to factor in is, have you ever heard of J.J. Watt doing something stupid on the field, like that gets himself kicked out of a game?
He's never done anything stupid. He is all about team.
Yeah,
like he is definitely a team player. He won't do anything.
That's my opinion. I would take J.J. Watt. You can't go wrong either way. If you're a starting football team with either one, you can't go wrong either way. But if you had the pick and your feet was to the fire, if I had the pick, I would pick J.J. Watt because first off, he can catch. First, defenders can't even guard him on defense. Like he's not guardable as a tight end. There's defenders that said, there's linebackers that said they can't keep up with him.
Yeah, but the stupid thing is you put him on the field. They put him in 3 offensive packages, and he scored 3 offensive touchdowns. Yeah. So it's like, and they knew it was going to him. After the first time it happened, they knew that the ball was going to him every time, and they still couldn't stop.
Yeah. So that's my, and plus, was Dominican Sue even mentioned in the MVP race this year?
Oh, hell no.
No.
Not even close.
J.J. Watt was mentioned. I really
Well, he stepped on Aaron Rodgers twice.
That's what he gets. And Aaron Rodgers won, so.
Yay! We were all happy about that. Well, I was happy, but I'd been happier if J.J.
Okay, another big free agent. I actually got the list of free agents here. I don't want to go over too much, but big free agent. DeMarco Murray. Where do you think he should go? I think the Colts. Colts need to just break the bank a little bit. They got $45 million this offseason. Break the bank a little bit and go get him. That will really help your team.
What, off Dallas?
Yeah, DeMarco Murray. Okay, you got either him, C.J. Spiller, Ryan Matthews, maybe Mark.
Do not get C.J. Spiller. That kid's all bust. He's in every other week back.
I think there's a horrible offensive line.
I don't know, man.
Hold on, Mark Ingram. I would say Mark Ingram or Murray would be the two. And you got Justin Forsett, Frank Gore. No one else on here really stands out. Ahmad Bradshaw, you can bring him back, but Darren McFadden, maybe?
No.
If he was on a good team, you might be better.
If you got the dough, and especially in the cap space this year, because it's not like you got to give the kid $45 million this year.
No.
You can give him.
I think what he's looking for about like $8 million a year over 5 years.
You give him, you know what? I would sacrifice this year. I would suck it up. I'd do exactly what you say. I'd give this kid $10 million this year and slowly, progressively let that number go down, but then let his overall salary be based on bonuses that he does. If you get to this number, you get that, because that's the trend now. I'm going to give you a small amount of money, but if you get me to the what was it? The Steelers a bunch of years ago in Ben Roethlisberger's second contract? No, his rookie contract.
Yeah.
They stated that if he got here, and here, he'd get all these bonuses. And if he got to the Super Bowl, he was going to get $1 million bonus like that, cash money in his pocket. Didn't happen, but damn, that's a lot of motivation to get a guy on board.
I don't understand why Saints are letting Mark Ingram go. I mean, they're also letting Pierre Thomas go. I mean, their third string guy wasn't too bad last year. I don't remember his name on top of my head.
Well,
but yeah, DeMarco Murray.
I don't try to understand the entirety of the league. I'll put it to you right now.
Mark Ingram, DeMarco Murray, and Forsett are my three favorite. You can look at the list if you want, but those are my three top guys. Then you have C.J. Spiller, Ryan Matthew. And then Frank Gore's also free agent too. His career's probably done. No one's going to sign him to a big contract.
What, Gore? Yeah, he'd be nice to bring in as a third down back, but that'd be about it.
And then wide receivers. Well, the thing is about Gore is he has been misused the last 3 because he can catch the ball. He had a year where he had 1,000 receiving yards and 1,000 rushing yards.
Well, but
and that was when the team sucked. That
you just said he was a little long in the tooth, so you're really going to invest
He's
a lot.
Old. I'm just saying.
I'm not going to invest a ton of money in a guy that's got a lot of miles under his belt. Even though he was misused and in the right offense, he'd probably flourish.
If
you're not going to give the guy $10 million.
If he was the backup in Dallas, I think that would revitalize his career because that Dallas offensive line could make anyone look good, and he'll run hard at least. He may not be fast, but he will run hard.
I think DeMarco Murray could have ran without an offensive line and still got some decent.
I think you're really underestimating that offensive line. That's by far they were blowing Seattle off the line. That's how good that line was.
Yeah, but he was just blowing shit up after he got warmed up. Man, there was no stopping him. Like, if you got him slowed down in the first half, he wasn't as great in the second half.
Most running backs.
If he got going, forget about it.
Most running backs are momentum players. If the ball is rolling, imagine like a snowball. If it starts rolling,
it gets bigger.
It gets bigger and it builds. That's like Redskins. They would do this all the time to not Murray, Alfred Morris. He get like 90 yards in the first half, but they're down 3 touchdowns. So he doesn't touch the ball second half because the guy swung the football around.
No, you keep him going.
Yeah,
we already had that discussion.
Okay. Receivers, you have Des Bryant, who's franchise tag, which that doesn't mean he can't be signed by anyone else.
He wants paid is what he wants.
Now, if someone else offers him a higher contract than the franchise tag, he can take that offer, or the Dallas Cowboys can match. That's the option.
No one's going to offer him more money than Dallas is willing to pay.
No, Dallas isn't franchise tagging him, so there's no option. Franchise tag is like the league average
of top 5 wide receivers.
Yeah,
top 5 paid wide receivers.
Yes.
In the league.
Same with Demaryius Thomas. If someone else offers him more money, he can leave.
Demaryius is going to stay where he's at. I guarantee that.
I think he wants to stay where he's at. I think Des Bryant might want to go somewhere else. I don't think they're going to pay him.
There you go. There's something for Andrew Luck to throw at.
Des Bryant?
Yeah.
There are a lot of receivers, so he does have his pick of the litter. But to be fair, Andrew Luck can make a lot of receivers look a lot better than they actually are. Same with,
but bring a good receiver in with a good quarterback.
I think Demaryius Thomas will be better than
happen.
Des Bryant because Des Bryant's going to try to lead that team, and Andrew Luck's. Andrew Luck's already the leader. That's all I'm saying.
Demaryius is not leading.
How about Randall Cobb?
I see him going to Oakland.
I got Eagles. Oh, how about LaShawn McCoy getting traded to the Bills? That
dude's got a bad attitude, man.
No, he doesn't.
He's got a bad attitude. He's an attitude problem in the locker room.
You've been listening to ESPN way too much.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, you have.
No, I haven't.
Yes, you have. You're regurgitating everything that they've been saying.
I haven't even heard them say one negative thing about him, to be honest with you. That's just what I
Randall Cobb, my guess is he's going to go to. He's going to go to the Eagles.
He's not going to the Eagles.
I kind of hope he gets re-signed by.
It would be very nice to keep him in Pac-Land because that would throw me to no end.
Let's see, Jeremy Maclin. He'll go some. I don't. Where would he fit? Eagles don't want him, obviously. So maybe he's gonna go. I think he'll end up in Indianapolis. because they can get him kind of cheap, and they don't have they need receivers because Reggie Wayne is done.
Well, it depends on whether or not they're going to bring Sanchez in or bring Foles in as the leader of that team.
Well, Sanchez is a free agent, so.
Well, but I mean,
let me see if Foles is.
Foles shouldn't be a free agent.
No, he's not.
He should have another.
But Mark Sanchez is a free agent.
Foles should have like another year or two.
Well, here's your free agent quarterbacks, which McCown actually got signed by Cleveland.
Yeah, well, Cleveland took McCown. Castle went to Buffalo.
And Hasselbeck got a 1-year re-sign with Indianapolis.
Oh, stop it.
Castle got signed or traded to Buffalo. Yeah, Mark Sanchez, Jake Walker, Brian Hoyer, Matt Moore. Well, that's a glaring thing right there. Brian Hoyer's not being re-signed by what's her name? That's pretty glaring to me. Mallett, Ponder, and no one else of note here.
Hoyer, I don't hate him.
Nat Flynn, no.
I think he could do all right. You know what? Green Bay's just going to keep Flynn in a locker underneath of the stairs for the next 10 years. That's all there is to that. What happened? He left. He was supposed to be the starting QB in Seattle. It didn't happen. He left Seattle, started 2 games with the Raiders.
Yeah.
That didn't quite pan out. Where did he end up? Back as the second string Aaron Rodgers. I think it's funny.
I think he does good in that system. That's my opinion.
I still think it's funny that after all those moves, he ended up right back where he was a year later.
Crabtree, Britt, Shorts. Cecil Shorts will go somewhere. Because he's not a bad receiver. He's just on a shitty team. He played for Jacksonville.
Man, I'm telling you right now, I really think their quarterback has a shot in hell. He just needs development. He needs development.
And
I can't even remember his name right now.
Blake Bortles?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Indianapolis is going to be making some big moves because they lost Akeem Nicks and Reggie Wayne.
Well, they haven't lost anyone technically yet.
I wouldn't resign Akeem Nicks or Reggie Wayne.
Well, I'm just saying they haven't. Do you want a Benadryl, son?
I might need a Benadryl. Jesus. Thank you. Sorry.
These kids.
But Reggie Wayne, I wouldn't resign him. He was horrible. Sorry, internet. Woo.
What? Shady's dying.
Yeah, I'm dying over
You
here.
take one of these or 2 of these?
One. But if I take 2, I'm going to fall asleep playing basketball later. Thank you.
Not a run. You do realize you're the only reason we keep these on hand, right?
Yeah, I realize that. Alright. Sorry, internet. I'm allergic to cats. It usually doesn't affect me, but today it's affecting me.
He's taking drugs on screen. Write it down.
Okay, back to Indianapolis.
This is my allergy, brother.
Maybe that's what I'm allergic to. Every time I say Indianapolis, I start sneezing. Alright, Reggie Wayne and Akeem Nicks. Both of them were horrible last year. The only offensive production they had on that team was Toby Fleener, their other tight end I can't think of right now, and T.Y. Hilton. And then they had the check downs to all the running backs.
All the running backs, which is funny because they went through, 4 or 5 of them?
4 or 5, yeah.
At the end of the season.
So they need to get a receiver, which Randall Cobb would fit nice there. Macklin would fit nice there. They have $46 million in salary cap. So they could probably go get DeMarco Murray for $8 million. They could probably get 3 or 4 of these decent receivers for another $15 million total. So, and then they got to solidify that defense a little bit. So,
well, I'm telling you right now, that team is probably 1-2 good moves away from being a Super Bowl winning team.
Well, they were 1 game away this year without it. So,
2 moves. They're 2 moves away from being a great team. Now, I don't know exactly what those moves would be, but they're 2 great moves away.
Running back, something to help their defense. Because their defense was not bad in the passing game, but running defense was horrible last year.
I don't think Sue would fit in there. I think Wilfork would, though.
Wilfork?
I think Wilfork would fit in there. I don't think Sue would. The kind of player he is, he's not going to fit into that system. He's not going to fit into the hearsay way, so to speak.
Hearsay way. And you got a bunch of tight ends here. Julius Thomas, I think he'll get re-signed.
Yeah.
Cameron, oh man, I would love to see him anywhere else, but Cleveland has not been. I don't.
You talk about the most underutilized player on that team. That was him. Never mind the fact that he was banged up for 4 or 5 weeks this year.
Yeah, well,
with concussion.
A lot of things they were talking about was a lot of players just wanted out of Cleveland. It's just a clusterfuck.
It's where you go to die.
It's just a clusterfuck.
Actually, you're born in Cleveland, you die somewhere great.
Charles Clay, Jermaine Gresham, Owen Daniels, Niles Paul, Anthony Fasano. That's a sleeper right there for someone because he was really big with the Chiefs this year.
Not till the end of the season, though.
No, disagree with that. But was the other one Kelsey?
Kels did pretty good for Jesse.
Jacob Tammy, which I think he's underrated also, but we'll see.
Yeah,
I don't want to get too much in the deep. There's some offensive tackles that are pretty decent. But anyway.
Well, if the rest of the internet's anything like me, well, the rest of the normal internet, we're not talking about the super.
All right, get to your topic you're going to throw at me here.
All right, we had an argument 2 weeks ago, I think it was 2 weeks ago, about the best rivalry in all of sports. I decided to do a little bit of research because it was bothering me. He says the Lakers-Celtics is the all-time best rivalry in sports.
Hold on. Tell them the reason why I said that.
Because they've met in the playoffs more times than
they've met in the championship more than anyone else.
Oh.
They've met 12 times.
And
both teams combined have 33 championships. One has 17, one has 16. That's why I think they're the two best. And the fact they've met in championships and prevented each other from going any further and they're right neck and neck, that's why I think it's the greatest rivalry. So,
I said the best rivalry was UNC Duke. However, I appear to be wrong as well. So here's what I broke it down because these are the 4 rivalries we talk about most. And I'm sure someone else is going to come up with a hockey rivalry that I didn't even think about, but I'm not even worried about hockey right now. Lakers versus Celtics. First game played was November 9th, 1948. Celtics lead the rivalry 197 to 158 total. That's postseason and everything. UNC Duke. First game played June 24th, 1920. UNC leads the rivalry 133 to 106. The Boston Red Sox and the Yankees. First game played April 26, 1901. It stands at 1,152 for the Yankees, 972 for the Red Sox, and 14 ties. So apparently at some point in baseball there was ties allowed. That will probably go down as the oldest rivalry.
Oldest, but we said the greatest rivalry.
This is the one I think is the greatest rivalry. Bears-Packers. First game played December 14th, 1941. Bears lead the rivalry 93 to 91 with 6 ties. The reason I think that is the best rivalry is because it's the closest. They are 1 season away from that flipping the other way or tying up, and I think that makes for a better rivalry than being ahead by, the Yankees, which is almost 100 games ahead.
No, that's more than 100.
No, it's almost 200. Almost 200 games ahead. The Celtics, which are ahead by 41 games.
You also got
and UNC ahead by 20-something. No, 19. It's in the teens, whatever. I think a good rivalry, and this is why I decided to look this up, because I actually wondered to myself, I was like, well, which is the best rivalry? Which one could change in one season? One season could change the entire rivalry. It's that close that it could change and flip-flop the other side. That's why I think Bears-Packers are the best, because it could change in one season. They play each other twice a year regardless. That could be tied up or even won this season. It could flip-flop. And I think that's what makes for a better rivalry. Granted, the Red Sox is the oldest rivalry. There's no argument.
Yeah, but here's the thing about that.
That can't change in one season. That can't change in one season.
They also play each other 20 times a year, too.
That can't change in one season. That can't change in one season. And that can't change in one season. Bears-Packers could change in one season. I think that's the better rivalry only because of that. Because I think the closer it is, the more you can call it a rivalry. The larger that distance between wins by one team and wins by other, the less of a rivalry it overall is.
Yeah, that's also very skewed also. Because the Packers
How is that skewed?
Packers have dominated that rivalry the past like 15 years.
Yeah, but the Bears are ahead in the rivalry right now.
Yeah, because the Bears were good 20 years ago.
Doesn't
The
matter.
Bears were
It's
better
still the
20 years
closest
ago
rivalry.
than in the 80s.
It's still the closest rivalry.
That's skewed. That's so skewed. It's
It's
ridiculous.
skewed.
You got an issue here where the Celtics won like 8 straight championships.
I don't care. I don't follow basketball. I just went by the numbers. I didn't put some spin on
Also
it. They said they were tied in, that they both have X amount of championships apiece. Yes, but did they play every one of those championships?
You're not
against
taking
each
into
other?
the gravity of the games that they're playing.
Yeah.
They're not. They play in the regular season. Celtics Lakers meet in the championships. Those are higher caliber games.
I'm just saying.
You have your opinion, I have mine. We'll leave it at that.
I think the Bears Packers is a better rivalry because it could change this season.
It doesn't matter if it can
closer.
change this season.
It makes it more of a
No one
rivalry.
cares who won last year. It's about what is happening next.
Exactly. And the Bears or the Packers actually have a realistic chance of passing the Bears in the rivalry this season.
No, they don't have a chance of time.
The Lakers, no, they can play in the postseason.
Yeah, you think the Bears are going to make the postseason?
I'm just saying it could happen.
I think
The
not.
Lakers have absolutely no chance of getting even close to the Lakers or close to the Celtics in the next 10 years.
No, they don't.
No chance.
They can get 7. They can get
4 wins
8
per
games
season.
on. They can get 8 games on them this year.
Still, it's going to take a while for that to even get. It's just the closeness of it to me. I thought UNC and Duke was the best rivalry. It's one of the older ones. I would have been correct on that end of it because January 24th.
How close it is, Chad, doesn't make it a rivalry. For example,
Yeah,
Southern.
it does. It makes it closer.
Southern and Northern are rivals. Southern has beaten Northern like 75% of the time they've played in basketball. Does that make it a rivalry? Yes.
No.
Why? Because of circumstance.
Just because they're in your backyard doesn't mean they're your biggest rival.
It's like West Virginia and Pitt. West Virginia used to destroy Pitt. I'm pretty sure if you look that up, we're way ahead of them in football.
They can call it a rivalry game, but a rivalry to me means that we are that close.
No, there's something rooted
We are
in it.
that close.
There's something rooted in it. That's what it means.
Just because somebody stole somebody's hog doesn't make it a rivalry.
Celtics, Lakers have met in championships. They've decided 12 championships between them. And 17 for one, 16 for the other. Lakers have 16, Celtics have 17. 33 championships are decided between these two teams. They've met in a championship game twice.
Well,
Right.
see, that's how
What's
you
your
base
point?
it. You base it completely off championships. I base it off total lifetime.
You also
of
got to
the
look at
entire
the
thing.
legendary players. There's all players on both those teams.
Also, the Bears and Packers have never had any legends.
I'm
play
not
on their
saying
teams.
that, but the whole team of the Lakers and Celtics, when they met, the whole team was Hall of Famers. You don't have a whole team of Hall of Famers on those teams.
It still doesn't make it the best rivalry in sports.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't. Rivalries have to be close.
And you didn't even mention that until I brought it up, to be fair.
What?
When we were arguing about that 2 weeks ago, you didn't even bring up Packers Bears. Because I said that's the best. I said that's the best rivalry in the NFL.
Yeah, we both agreed that was the best rivalry.
Yeah, but I'm the one that brought it up, and now you're gonna spin that against me. That's fucked up.
It was bugging me. I'm like, well, you know what? What are the overall stats? What are the wins and wins?
Yeah,
of
you're
the
not
team?
even getting.
What's
It's not even a
closer?
fair gauge because you're gauging that off of 180 games, 84, 190 games, and you're gauging this one off of way more games. That's almost 400 more games. 400 games.
Okay, well, let's never
You're
mind the
gauging
facts that the Bo Sox and the Yanks are ahead of everyone by about 900. I mean, we could say that's the best rivalry because they played each other more times.
That is a good rivalry because in the early, whenever the Yankees went for that time period where they were winning championships like every year in the 20s,
Yeah.
a lot of their players came from Boston because Boston didn't want to pay them. So they traded to the Yankees. So that was back before the free agency era, when you didn't have free agency. When you were drafted by a team, you were an indentured servant. You stayed on that team until they didn't want you anymore. They wanted to get rid of you, and they traded you.
Yeah, that was
You didn't have a choice. Yeah, a lot of these players got traded to the Yankees, and then the Yankees became champions. And that was when they stopped losing for like 95 years or something. This isn't a rivalry because they haven't won it. They had 2 championships since like 1921 or something. They've had championships every year. That's not even comparing. It's not even a fair comparison. These guys have won 2 since whenever that curse was. I don't know when the curse was off the top of my head. I think it was like 1920 or something. Yankees have won have more championships than any team in any sport.
But they can't play each other for a championship because they're.
I understand that.
So you're going to go back and say that this is not the best rivalry in baseball?
No,
because now you've just cut it completely to shreds.
No, that is by far the best rivalry in baseball
because you're like arguing with yourself.
I'm telling you where the root of the rivalry comes is because a lot of players from the Boston
Red Sox ended up with the Red Sox.
That's where the rivalry comes from.
That's fine.
I'm agreeing with you.
Are we in agreement that we voted that these were the best rivalries in
their respective sports?
Okay, yes. I still say Packers Bears is better.
What do you think is better? What do you think is the greatest in college football?
In college football? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's a good one, huh?
That's a hell of a good one because the schedules change every single year. And teams that used to play each other all the time don't play each other at all anymore.
I'd throw Ohio State, Michigan in that.
That would be a good one, but then another really heated one is Ohio State and Penn State. They fucking hate each other.
No, it's not as much.
Yeah, go to State College
when
and watch
Joe Paul was
State
there,
game
yes. When Joe Paul was there, yeah.
I'm telling you, go party in Penn State on the
My dad is a huge Penn State fan prior to the Joe Paterno scandal. Okay.
Still a huge Penn State fan. I'm not giving up on
I'm a fan of Joe Paterno. I was a huge Joe Paterno fan.
The kids who play on that team have absolutely nothing to do with the presidential bullshit that goes on at that university. So I'm never gonna.
I have another one.
I'm never gonna damn the university because a couple of guys fucked up.
I have a good one, but it hasn't been good as of lately.
What?
UNC Notre Dame used to be a big game every year.
Football or basketball?
USC Notre Dame. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But I don't know if it's
big anymore.
I don't know if it's per se a rivalry anymore. But it used to be a game every. It used to be like a big televised game every year.
Oregon and Oregon State.
I'm trying to think if it was a better one.
There's not.
Well, to me, it used to be Western Union Pitt. That used to be my favorite rivalry because backyard brawl.
The backyard brawl.
Now we don't have a rivalry. I'm trying to think.
There's no real diehard. Alabama, Florida State,
Alabama, Auburn.
Yeah, that is a pretty good one.
Texas, Oklahoma.
Well, what ones actually play for a trophy every time that there's a game?
Alabama, Auburn, the Iron Bowl.
Okay, there's like 4 or 5.
There's a couple of them. There's like the Minnesota and somebody plays for the Golden Badger or something.
Yeah.
Or the Golden.
There's actually something on the line
for them.
Those would be good games, and actually those would probably be the most deep-rooted, oldest rivalries in sports because they were playing football in college before they even invented something called professional football. So, but anyway. I just wanted numbers to go with what we were talking about, and judging by the numbers alone, granted, yes, everyone else has played more total games. I just like the Packers-Bears rivalry because it's close. It could change hands at any given season.
And I'm telling you, it's skewed because the Packers since the Brett Favre era, other than like a couple years with the Bears, whenever they had Lovie Smith and they went to the Super Bowl. The Packers have dominated that series since like the early 90s.
Yeah, but they're getting caught back up. So it's a good, nice, tight rivalry again. Like it's
not a rivalry if you win every year. That's
what ladder up.
It's not a rivalry if you win every year. They've swept in like the last 4 years.
That's my opinion.
Okay,
that's my opinion. That's my opinion. You're entitled to be wrong.
UNC, and again, I'll say this: UNC and Duke.
I think it's the best rivalry in college basketball.
I do, but it's not. I don't think it's the greatest rivalry ever because it hasn't been a big rivalry.
And I admitted to being wrong on that. I admitted that, okay, no, if I'm going to go by my own bullshit and I'm going to go solely by the numbers, then I'm wrong, and I think the Bears Pack is the better rivalry. So I admitted to being wrong.
UNC Duke is the best rivalry in college basketball.
Yes.
But the issue I have with that. Well, no, I mean, I agree with you, but it isn't the best ever because it hasn't been a rivalry. It's only been a rivalry since the 80s. Prior to Coach Krzyzewski being at Duke, Duke was a shithole when it comes to college basketball. Prior to Coach Krzyzewski being there, Coach K, Duke was not very good at basketball.
How funny is it that a team that is a college program that has a great basketball program usually does not have a great football program?
Actually, Duke's football program is...
It's up and coming.
It's coming.
It's up and coming.
UNC's, they've had for years. They had 1 year where they had the best offensive line in the country easily. But they just couldn't stop a team on defense. What? They couldn't. They couldn't stop a team on defense.
I just love listening to that little shit talk.
What's his name? Is it Victor Cruz or Hakeem Nicks? One of those two went to UNC.
I have no
they
idea.
were good. But
The year they were good.
the year, the Bears. Okay, now you got that out of the way. Anything else you want to talk about with sports, sir?
How is LeBron James even in contention for the MVP trophy?
I don't know because he has a. It's the same thing, and again, not to get back on Duke real quick, but Duke is like a media favorite. Duke will get blown out by like a shitty or by like somebody like give me like 40 points.
Well, they've only lost like 2 games this year.
And they'll lose. I'm talking over a course of my whole knowledge of watching Duke basketball.
Okay.
They'll lose a game like by 30 points. And they'll drop like 4 spots in the standings. They'll beat some shitty team like like NC State or like Savannah State, and they'll get jumped 5 more spots in the rankings. It's very biased the way that's done all the time.
Oh, that's kind of like the way college football is done all the time too.
Yeah, where if you're Alabama and you lose a game, you don't even move down the rankings at all.
Yeah, but if you're Boise State and you lose a game, you drop off the fucking charts.
Yeah. Well.
What? I gotta
fair,
go with my boys. I
know, with my boys. But to be fair,
no one on the East Coast even gave them a shot because nobody wanted to play. And Virginia Tech, I think they were the only ones that bite it and take it.
They got their asses kicked too.
Yes, they did.
Hey, a couple years ago they played the Oregon Ducks.
That's what
and they destroyed the Oregon Ducks.
That's what I like to call a pride fuck right there.
Pride fuck.
Pride fuck.
You want to pride fuck the shit out of you.
If only I played Clash of Clans or Boom Beach or whatever the other
Star
was.
Wars Commander.
Yeah.
You should. You got a tablet, don't you?
Yeah, but I got a kid, and
So it takes 5 seconds.
I really don't want to dedicate.
Tablet. You don't have to type anything.
I have Civilization on here. That's enough for me. I like that.
Civilization. The game is gay.
You're pretty much doing the same thing, only you're doing it in like live action. You're not just like fighting a computer. All right. Just saying. Anyway,
anything else with sports?
I think we've beaten sports to death.
No,
Other than stop talking about A-Rod. Jesus, nobody cares. Nobody fucking cares. He did drugs. He took a year off. He's coming back. He's gonna be shitty. Nobody cares. He's old.
Yeah, I'm gonna be devil's advocate on this for a second. No, I have no sympathy for the Yankees. My father's a Yankee fan, and you're gonna give someone that much money on with a damn contract. If you want to give him $250 million over 10 years with incentives to make more money, that's your fault. That is not his fault. Don't hate him because of what he's done.
Yeah, if you didn't build into the contract that he has to quote unquote stay clean, then sorry, you're bad. You got to honor the contract. You got to pay him the money he's due. You can't just back out on that because it was your fault for not building that into the contract. Especially since these rumors of him doing that have been flying around since mid early 2000s.
Oh, whenever he was with the Rangers. When he was with the Rangers, it was rumors.
See that, but like he's been around. He's long in the tooth.
Yeah,
like he's Derek Jeter long in the tooth.
Not that long, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, if you knew that was suspect, you should have built that into his contract that as long as he stays clean, he can get X amount of dollars for this, X amount of dollars for that. Just stop it. The organizations want to save money and get smarter. Build that stupid shit into their contract because that gives you an out if they do something stupid. Like, quite honestly, if that would have been built into Ray Lewis's contract that he has to honor every policy set forth by the NFL or he's not going to get fucking paid, the Ravens wouldn't have had to give him a $1.6 million payday to get him to shut the fuck up and go away. It wouldn't have happened. But that wasn't built into the contract. It's assumed, but if it's not written, it's nothing. So, Yankees, pay him. Yeah, I know. I saw that. I'm like pissed off.
Why?
There's only one theater doing it in our area.
Who is it?
Bridgeport.
That's dumb. Why doesn't Garrett?
And Bridgeport's not doing the 24 hours. They're only doing the 2 Avengers back to back.
Bullshit.
Yeah, if you didn't see it, internet, the coolest thing ever is happening, and you're probably going to miss it unless you live in a major market area. On April 29th, right before Avengers Age of Ultron comes out, Cinemark,
it's Regal and AMC theaters.
Regal, AMC, and Cinemark actually are all doing Avengers or Marvel Cinematic Universe marathons. And a limited number of them are doing 24 hours, starting with Iron Man.
28 hours.
28 hours, starting with the original Iron Man and ending with Age of Ultron. So all those movies back to back to back in a 28-hour period.
Iron Man, Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America, Avengers, Iron Man 3, Thor, Captain America, Guardians of the Galaxy's in that. I didn't think that would be thrown in there.
Well, yeah, it's part
Well,
of the Marvel
I know.
Cinematic Universe. It got connected through Thor: The Dark World.
Today is National Short Girl Appreciation Day.
Well, see, you're doing that. But yeah, if you had the opportunity to do that, my boy out in Seattle, you know who you are, Stingray. You're talking about doing it. I think you should. I don't have the ability to do it because no one within my local area is going to do it. So I'm not even going to bother driving like 2-3 hours for that. Because, damn, I'm going to need a hotel room at the movie theater. Because, quite honestly, I'm going to go take a 2-hour nap during the original Thor.
I would go
during the original Thor. I'm going to take a 2-hour nap. That's when I'm going to take my break.
What I would want from that is if they I want them to change out the seats for toilets, so I don't have to leave.
Sit and shit all day long.
Okay, this is a thing I'm seeing on Facebook. You get 2 pills, a blue pill and a red pill. Blue pill brings back a dead family member. Red pill makes you an instant billionaire. Oh yeah, morality questions is the best. Which one would you take?
Instant billionaire?
Billionaire. Like you take over Bill Gates' money.
I'll play devil's advocate. I'll take the money.
I'll take the money too.
I mean,
there's
I really
no one
like
in
my
my
dead
family that are dead that I'm like.
Well, there's someone that I would bring back, but it wouldn't be for me. It'd be for somebody else. But I'm just not sure that. And I'm one of those strange people that when someone refers to that God saved their lives, I don't really buy it because I'm kind of on the idea that we're all born with a ticking clock and we're given a limited number of heartbeats, and when the clock stops, it's over. So it doesn't matter what you do. You can only affect your quality of life. Nothing you can do can affect when your clock stops. People say that their life ended too soon or it was cut too short. I don't buy it. Everything happens when it's supposed to happen. The only thing you can affect is the quality of your life up until that point. So okay, I believe when it's over, it's over. So bringing back someone who's dead gives me like a whole pet cemetery. Are they going to be a zombie? Are they going to be 100% themselves? I don't know. There's a whole other line of thought there.
There's someone to me that has passed away, but I've gotten over it and I've moved on the grieving part, so I don't know if I could put myself through that again. So let's take the money.
Take the money.
Okay, there's another one I saw. This is the last one. I'm not going to have like 100 of these. If you're given a red pill and a blue pill, the red pill takes you 10 years back in the past. The other pill takes you 10 years in the future. Which one would you take?
I'm always going back to the past. I'm not going to lie, because I wouldn't want to skip 10 years of what I got right now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to skip 10 years. I don't want to miss a single moment of that shit. And that's if you're a dad, you understand. You understand that. You don't want to miss a single moment and skipping 10 years into the future. Fuck, man, you're going to miss all the cool shit. You're gonna miss. I would miss like the first steps, the first words, all that awesome stuff. So fuck it, no, I'm going back.
See, I'm a little younger than you.
Because I'd still be married to my wife.
Okay.
And it would still be awesome.
Okay, I would take 10 years back too, because I don't know, I'd fix a lot of things I did wrong.
Fuck that.
Plus, I'd go back.
I'd do a lot more fucked up shit.
Okay. Maybe make all new mistakes.
Yeah, you damn right I would.
I've had a discussion before. I don't know if I told you.
I'd go back and instead of taking the blue pill the first time, I'd take the red pill the first time. That's what I would do.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be? Anything's in the game. Anything you want. I think I might have told you mine, but I have one definitive superpower I would like.
Wow.
Yeah. Mine is logical, and it will actually help you in everyday life. That's mine. Mine is, but
logical in everyday life, not so much. I would actually just one, and that's the only one I could have.
Yeah.
Is it like, do I have to pick a superhero to emulate, or I can only pick one power?
One power. Which you can actually make up one, because I have one that's not really made up. It's from a movie, but I logically understand the benefit of that.
I got to go with, and it's not a combination, but I'm just giving 3 characters to demonstrate exactly what I want. Deadpool, Mystique, Wolverine. I want unlimited regeneration.
Okay.
That's what I want because I like to live vicariously and quite dangerously, and if I had that, I'd feel a lot freer to do a lot more dumb shit that I would just sit there and think about the house like, I wonder what that would feel like, and I could do it. I know it sounds really, really dumb, but after you fall out of an airplane and you bounce twice and you live, you kind of like, I would have liked to have healed quicker from that because that took like a month. And I'd like to have that month back.
And what would be the extent of your power? Like you can heal yourself from almost certain death, or as long as there's 1 cell left, you can regenerate. Is that basically it?
No, because I don't want to live forever.
Okay.
There's no point in that. I like the way Wolverine's goes to where he still ages, but he ages a hell of a lot slower. That's more what I'm looking at. But he still regenerates really damn well. Like he can have his whole hand blowed off, as long as his skeleton still remains, he's good to go. I mean, he's only lost an appendage 1 time, and that was in an alternate universe, so I can't really count that.
Okay. Mine, like I said, it's logical and you can use it every day, is I want the ability to see like 10 minutes into the future. Just 10 minutes. 10 minutes in the future, that's all I want, is that ability. No, well, you know me. I play blackjack, first off.
I hear a rattle really well. Sorry. I see the look.
Like, I play blackjack, and I can tell which cards are good, which cards are bad, what the next hand's going to be, so I can know whether to play the right amount of money. That's the first thing. I can avoid a lot of crap. Like, say I'm about to get hit by, my car's about to get in an accident, I can completely avoid it just by seeing 10 minutes in the future. Not so much now. Whenever I didn't have a girlfriend, logically, it was a great idea because you can go and you can.
You don't have a girlfriend anymore?
No, I still have a girlfriend. I'm saying now because I'm not so much now because I have a girlfriend. When I didn't have one, the logic of what if I'm going to talk to a girl at a bar or whatever, which line would work, and you can go through all of them and technically in your head because you can see every possible scenario you can play out until one works.
I see that.
And then, like, this is what I meant by, like, what's the extent of it? The furthest extent of my power, like, if I sat here and concentrated, 10 minutes from now, I can technically see what happens 10 minutes from now, right?
Yeah.
And then so on. And so if I really concentrated, I might be able to see, like, an hour ahead. That would be the extent of my power. If I really concentrated, I could see an hour ahead if something was really dire, like the lottery or something.
I give you that, and I see the benefits there in and of. However,
there are downsides. I understand that.
Well, no, the only downside I see is you're so focused on what's going to happen shortly that you're not focused on what's going on right now, and I think you lose the joy of the moment. Like, there's that thrill when you're playing cards. Is this going to be the hand? Is this going to be the hand? Like,
well, there's one thing playing with your buddies and having fun, and there's another thing whenever you're trying to win money.
Yeah, but it takes that edge off. That's what makes it fun for me. Is that edge? Is just like, is this going to be? I got a really good hand. Is this going to be the hand? I think this is going to be the hand. I hope this is the hand. The anticipation of the event itself is worth more than knowing how it's going to pan out.
Yeah, but if you've ever gone and lost like $100 in 2 minutes, that can change your opinion very quickly.
I don't know, man. I love winning. I love losing. It's awesome to win. It's awesome to lose. Because everything is awesome.
For a win all the time. Everything was great.
Did you see the live performance of that song at the Oscars?
Yeah.
Holy shit, that was so cool.
Everything is key.
Neil Patrick Harris was there. Did you see him?
Dude, they really handcuffed him. They didn't let him do all half the stuff he wanted to do.
Well, of course they didn't. They handed him a set of writers and said, good luck. Which sucks because Neil Patrick Harris doesn't need a writer.
Apparently he was rehearsing like a lot of stuff he needed, and they came in like, yeah, we can't let you do this.
He's brilliant. Hey, you know what would be funny at the Oscars?
What's that?
Neil Patrick Harris co-hosting with Seth MacFarlane.
No.
That would be awesome.
No.
That would be hilarious.
No.
Come on, yes.
Those
two on stage would be hilarious.
If you had a hologram version of Peter Griffin and him hosting, maybe I would watch it.
No, I think Seth and Neil would work out well together.
Seth is not funny in and of itself. He doesn't even write his own shows anymore, dude.
It doesn't matter. He's still funny.
He just takes a paycheck.
Well, that's okay.
No,
I'll take a paycheck.
I don't think he can stand
up. He wrote Ted and directed it.
I don't think he can stand up, and I don't think he's a stand-up comedian like in that regard. Like Neil Patrick Harris can on the fly. Come on.
Did you watch the year he hosted the Oscars?
No.
It was hilarious.
Okay.
I don't care if Alex.
My
Bernstein
favorite
wrote
year.
half the
My
material.
favorite year was when Hugh Jackman was.
Yeah, but he was getting a lot of flack that year from being in The Boy from Oz in Australia, and I thought that was a wonderful theatrical musical. I really liked it, but that's besides the point.
He is the complete package.
He can do it all. He's probably gonna end up with a Grammy by the end of it. He's got a Tony.
Oh, he can sing. He can.
He's got a Tony. He can sing. He can dance. He's the king of romance. All those sweet young ladies. He'll give him a chance. He doesn't even know what song it's from.
Sorry.
Not very many people do because it was the end of side one of the tape for the album that was released in 1989, which was Digital Underground's Sex Packets. The title of the song was Do What You Like. Yeah, dropping knowledge on your asses.
Okay. On my asses. On our asses.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman's a total package.
Sing. Freaking ripped.
Oh, and Neil Patrick Harris has a pretty funny video on funnyordie.com right now about him yelling at a bunch of kids about who's more passionate about Thomas the Tank Engine. It's pretty funny. So, I enjoyed it thoroughly. Did you watch the Power Rangers thing I told you to watch last week?
Awesome.
Was that not the best? Did they not bring in two really awesome people to do that?
Sackhoff and
Vanderbeek? Oh, that was the best. There was a whole legal issue about that, like, mid-beginning of this week.
Why?
Haim Sabon's like, no, you can't do that with my stuff. Because it was a Saban Levy production. They're like, no, you can't do that. But apparently the courts are like, yeah, they totally can do that because it's awesome. And it was. Amazeballs.
All right.
Watch it.
So you want to jump to Gotham?
Yeah, speaking of Gotham, I really wish I would have seen last week's episode.
What happened?
It wasn't there.
I copied it over to your flash drive. I swear to you I did.
Did you not see my text?
I might have saw it and went back to bed. You might text me at this point while I was sleeping.
Oh yeah, and the Justice League cartoon that you gave me, it was literally a 10-second commercial for where you got it from, and that's all there was there. Because I promise, I watched all of that this week. All the Batman shit you gave me, I watched it all.
So what do you think of Justice League War?
I didn't get to see it. That was the one that was the
okay,
10-second commercial.
How about the Throne of Atlantis?
No. I only have Throne of Atlantis. I don't have
okay,
War
so
there.
which one did you see?
I didn't get to see either. Throne of Atlantis was on there, but when I played it, it was a 10-second commercial for where you got it from. But I watched the Batwoman.
Okay.
Not nearly as good as the Red Hood.
Right.
And now, downside of the Red Hood, but upside of the Red Hood. Downside of the Red Hood, Kevin Conroy didn't do the voice of Batman, and Mark Hamill didn't do the voice of Joker. That made me sad. Upside of the Red Hood, Neil Patrick Harris did the voice of Nightwing, and that made me very happy. I'm totally not gay, but Neil Patrick Harris, I would be for you, buddy.
Yeah, a long time ago, bolt of lightning struck a rainbow, and that was the day Neil Patrick Harris.
It was. Out of a unicorn's vagina.
Oh, that felt good. Did you hear that crap?
That was a good one.
Okay. Okay, so you did see the Gotham this week then?
Yes, I saw this week's Gotham, because now What's-Her-Face only has one eye.
Well, no, she has two.
Well, now she has two, but at the beginning of the episode, it left you to think that she only had one. Now one of them's blue. Blue.
So,
Penguin storylines. Man.
I
I really think this is the whole, like, forget Jim Gordon, forget everything else that's going on. This is the Penguin's origin story.
Oh,
This is exactly all this show is right now. And I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. Well, him and the Riddler. I'm quickly seeing him progressing toward the dark side, so to speak.
Well, we already put a bunch of body parts in that one guy's locker to get him fired. That was awesome. I don't know why he wants that one girl anyway. Seems like she's a whore.
Yeah, it seems like she sleeps with any
She's
cop
getting
who's
around the
popular
office.
at the time.
She's getting around the office pretty well.
Yeah, you don't want to sleep with the office girl. That's for damn sure.
I mean, yeah, she has that sexy librarian look to her, but other than that, I mean,
She's hot, but I mean,
yeah.
I don't know if I would be like, I'd want to be like thirds or fifths on that.
I found out something you might find interesting.
I might.
Selena Kyle
Yes.
is the illegitimate child of Don Falcone. Or Falcone. I don't know.
Is that like a real thing, or is that just something that?
In the comic books. In the comic book, that is legitimately what it is. She is the quote unquote bastard, or what are you gonna call it? Like, he raped her mother.
It'd have to be Falcone, wouldn't it?
It'd be Falcone.
What was you know who hasn't come into Gotham yet that I'm very surprised hasn't?
Hugo Strange.
Rupert Thorne.
Yeah.
Where is he at? Because he should be an up and comer in this universe. Like, and I don't know if he was a major player in the comic books itself, but he was a major player in Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah.
Like, he was always floating around doing some shit in the background, like constantly. He wasn't the Penguin's little bitch, but he was always doing his own shit.
Also, another one is Vicky Vale. She's the news reporter. And Jack Ryder. Those are the two main. You have not seen their names yet. Come on. Those are two. And I love.
But they're opening slow. Maybe they're opening slow. Maybe they're up to it. I really do want to see.
Well, you gotta understand. Okay.
I'm not a huge fan of fat bastards.
Vicky Vale is she's like 20 something whenever Batman is in his prime. So that might be why that. Jack Ryder's a little bit older, so he could be like in his 20s right now. But you know who I really like is who was casted really well. We don't see enough of him, but we saw a lot of him this week. The guy who plays Harvey Dent. I like the way he plays Harvey Dent.
He was casted really well. He really was. That was great.
I can't think of one that was casted bad yet.
Well, no, but that whole first episode where you got introduced to him and he actually pulled out the coin and got all like Billy Badass on him and like almost flipped a switch with his anger management. That was a good setup for who he's going to be, and I like that. I really did like that. You remember that episode?
You have to say that again. I'm sorry. I'm juggling. I want to get this done, and they need enough guys to play tonight. So I gotta text people to make sure we have enough. So I'm sorry.
No, but the first episode they introduced Harvey Dent to where he actually flipped the coin, flipped a switch, and went to anger management mode, or lack of anger management mode. It's a nice setup for his character. For those who aren't familiar that Harvey Dent does become Two-Face, I think that's a good immersion for them. Like, man, this guy's got some issues.
Well, his nickname is Harvey Two-Face. Yeah. That's how he gets it. Because he's originally working for he's originally working under Internal Affairs, and he keeps like putting a bunch of cops away or getting them fired or whatever on whatever racketeering or whatever the case may be. So they start calling him Harvey Two-Face because he'll go in and he'll be friendly to them, investigate, find stuff, and then flips the switch and then gets them either losing their job or they get on suspension for something stupid they did. And that's why he's nicknamed Harvey Two-Face. So when he gets after space going off, it's not. I mean, that is symbolism for what it is, but he's always been named that, so he just absorbs the name Two-Face.
Well, but he also has the anger management issue, which leads to the evil.
Well, he has a split. It's not split. It's not split personality disorder. It's something else.
It's not split. It's multiple.
Well, no, it's not multiple. It's only two. So it's split. It's not called split personality disorder. It's.
I think he just has a huge anger management problem. One of him is in control and the other one is not. It has something to do with
Google that real quick. What condition does Harvey Dent have?
20-1 says it's split personality disorder. Because it's the internet, and the internet is full of bullshit. I had this argument with a friend of mine about politics earlier this week.
Harvey Dent. It's called something because what's her name in you've seen Batman Forever? She actually said the literal term that it is. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds, internet. I'm looking this up.
He said he's going to start putting that up on your screen for you to see.
After I'm done working his job for him and I have more time, I'm going to actually print screen everything we look up and I will put it up there so you can see it. Okay, they won't be
Can
happening.
you put it like on a small screen, like right in the middle of us?
Yeah,
Like a
it'll be
whiteboard?
like a little annotation. Right
You know what we need? We need a whiteboard.
we
And
need
then we can have a projector facing that way. And then as we're doing this shit, we could just have it pointing on the projector, and then everyone can see what we're doing, and then it would be real time, but we wouldn't have to do any fancy
Shows
editing.
multiple person. Oh, multiple duality. It's a duality thing.
He has a polarized personality. He's got an upside and a downside, kind of like a bipolarism.
I think it's called like duality schizophrenia.
That would work.
I think that's what it's called. There's something more technical to it too, but I'm not gonna get too much. Oh, did you know Harvey Dent's middle name?
Alan. Aloysius?
Apollo.
Apollo.
Yep.
I started with the A's.
Apollo. Anyway.
Anywho.
So Gotham, good episode. I like how Gordon plays. He doesn't exactly play dirty, but he does play a little bit dirty. It's not like dirty the way everyone else does, but he plays a little bit dirty.
He wants what he wants, and he knows there's only one way to. In order to clean it up, you're gonna have to get your hands dirty.
Yeah.
That's an old adage.
And he does it the cleanest way possible too. So
I like the way he did it. He exposed someone who was dirty and said, if you don't play by my rules, then I'm going to make you look worse than you already are. So here's how it is. So he didn't get filthy, but he definitely dipped his hands in the mud.
Yeah.
Which is what's necessary. And I like them showing that aspect of Gordon because you always get, from reading the comics, you always get that, and watching the original anime, you get this idea. Well, actually, even watching the latest movies, you get this idea that Gordon is this squeaky clean motherfucker. And you don't get to be in a position like that without playing the political game a little bit. So I like seeing this that, okay, I want to make things better, which means I got to get a little worse.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that. I really do because it's realistic.
Well, see, I think you know what I think is really going to happen. I think it's going to spark a little bit of the Batman storyline. Because I think he gradually does that and he gets himself a little too deep where he's going to have to go all the way, and Batman helps him.
Yeah.
I think that's how the show's going to play that. Or Bruce Wayne, I should say.
I can see that. I can definitely see that. But no, it was more developing.
What is the point of Mooney's character? I don't understand. There's no character in the show that I can in the Marvel universe that she's being. DC. I'm sorry, DC.
I don't know. You know
I
what?
like it.
But that's become a thing with a Batman series on television.
They add something that wasn't.
We're going to add something there that wasn't there before, and you're going to love it regardless. And honestly, I love her Jada Pinkett Smith's portrayal of Fish Mooney. I really do. It's not a character. I'm not in love with her character. I'm in love with her portrayal of the character, and I think this character is going to have a bigger scope in how things finally pan out between Maroni and Falcone, and after they introduce Thorne, and I think all that's going to come to play, and I think she's going to be a big deal behind it. Now, how long she's going to last, I have no idea, because it's an heir apparent fact that she ain't around when Batman's around, so she got to die. And I'm still under the impression that in Batman's era, the Falcone that we've come to love in Gotham is not going to be the same guy, because that fucker would be like 120 by that point. Just saying. He wants to play basketball. He's got the basketball Jones. Basketball Jones. And there was no Flash this week. There was no Arrow this week.
I do have some news about that, though. Hold on.
No Flash, no Arrow?
Yeah.
Are we going to talk about the news we talked about Friday night?
What news was that?
That they're actually doing a spin-off series that's going to have Firestorm and Atom.
Yeah, it's called the. That's actually on my list. It's there's a comic book group called. It's a couple of second tier and third tier characters called the DC All Stars. And a couple of DC All Stars. So it's going to be those two. There's a couple other ones I think they're going to twist in there also.
Okay.
But that's what they're called, is the DC All Stars.
Well, they were talking about, in what I read, that Captain Cold was going to be pretty much their first supervillain.
Yeah. Well,
because he just broke out of prison with the help of his sister.
Yeah. This next episode, what's her name is going to be in Beth.
Oh,
The very next episode.
oh, the Bug-Eyed Bandit. She's gonna be in there. That's the character she portrays as
Yeah.
the Bug-Eyed Bandit.
Yeah, she's in the very next episode.
That'll be 2 weeks.
I wonder if that's his sister.
The Bug-Eyed
Captain
Bandit.
Cold. Yeah.
It could be, but that's 2 weeks off.
No, I'm gonna Google that real quick. Who's Captain's sister?
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. came back.
I did not. I tried down like website.
You
I
didn't miss jack fucking shit.
was
Like,
good.
God damn it. I love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but man, you talk about a sleeper episode. This is one you could have completely missed, and you wouldn't have missed jack shit.
First thing came out, Captain Cold's sister in Flash.
Bug-Eyed Bandit.
Okay. Okay. The actress is not her. It's a girl from the Tomorrow People.
Whatever, nobody cares about that show either.
Lisa Snart.
Snart.
And Leonard Snart is her brother, aka Captain Cold. I don't know the character it is though.
Well, I'll put it to you this way. I don't think the Bug-Eyed Bandit would have the ability
Golden Glider is what it says.
Well, I was about to say, I don't think the Bug-Eyed Bandit would have the ability to stop an armored truck.
Okay, she wears like razor sharp skates, and he arms herself with deadly loading.
Oh,
Yeah,
this would be another one of these things like Squirrel Girl. What's your power? She talks to squirrels. It's gay. Tell that to me when you're being ripped apart by rabid squirrels.
She's a world-class figure skater.
That is just...
Hey, it's not bad.
It's, as far as supervillain backstories go, it's pretty bad. Considering what the DC universe has to work with.
Anyway, she's a world-class figure skater. She has like razor sharp skates, and I guess she arms herself with blades. Is my assumption.
Okay, well, her and Captain Boomerang should have wonderful, beautiful children together because they have something similarly in common. No, anyway, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Since you missed it, I'm going to ruin it for you. You know why?
By the way, on Arrow, I'm going to stop you for a second. Don't ruin it for me yet. I'm
still
so happy you did not ruin Arrow for me last week.
Ah, that's
I'm
right.
really
Okay,
happy
let's
about that.
let's back up. Let's forget about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for right now. We've missed last week's Arrow, which was an awesome episode. And I'm pretty sure it has something to do with Batman.
Yeah. Again,
I'm just picking.
Again, they stole Batman's story.
They borrowed. The DC Cinematic Universe is going to have absolutely nothing to do with the DC television universe, so it doesn't matter. They can do whatever the fuck they want as far as I'm concerned, because they're actually making Arrow cool, which he was kind of a joke of the DC universe for years.
Okay, I'm about to turn off these notifications. I'm going to turn off that.
Hey, you're doing it to yourself.
Hold on. Do you... Okay. Okay, first off, the episode was goddamn amazing. I thought it was a lot crammed into one episode, though. There was a lot going on.
I don't necessarily think so. I think it was... I mean, I could see it being expanded as far as an hour and a half, but I couldn't see much going farther.
Thea telling what's her name she killed Laurel, or killed Sarah.
Hey, I'm glad they forced all that out, because really, in what I complained about a year ago to you about Arrow, was it was really one step away from Dawson's creaking me into fucking hating it. And if they would have drug out that plot line any longer, I was about ready to say that they were about ready to Dawson's Creek. I hate it when they do that shit. I get tired of I'm the little bitch, I'm gonna cry, I need to tell somebody I have a secret. Fuck it, just shut up, move on. That annoys the shit out of me. I'm not watching that show for suspense. Back to reality.
Read that. It's the dumbest thing ever.
They're never going to get anything they want.
Yeah. Sacrifice one for the other.
Yeah, seriously. good looks and great in bed. That's all you get.
And
Everyone else
then
is a
he's
worthless
tall.
piece of shit.
He can either be tall, has no kids, or see. Here's the thing.
You're getting us
I'll
off
go-
topic. Stop it.
Sorry. Okay.
Stop it.
Let's just get off this.
Stop it.
Okay.
Back to Arrow.
Arrow. Episode was first off. You had the release of telling Thea told Laurel that she killed Sarah.
Finally.
First thing. Yeah.
Which was necessary to get Dawson's Creek out of the way.
And then Thea tells the League of Assassins,
To go fuck yourself. No.
no, to get where Merlin is.
Yeah.
Then Laurel tries to fight Merlin, gets his
Which-
ass kicked. Gets her ass kicked.
Until the League shows up to kick Merlin's ass.
Yeah. And then Arrow fights Meow Ghoul, kidnaps her. Then him and Diggle go,
On a rescue mission to
and
get
then
Merlin.
Thea. See, this is the thing I don't know. Thea lets Mia out of her cage, and then Ra's al Ghul captures him and Diggle, and Ra's al Ghul tells Oliver, which that actually is in the comic book. There is a comic book where Oliver was to take over too. He asked Oliver to take over the League of Assassins, and he asked Oliver to take his place as the next Ra's al Ghul. So
I like that. See,
Oh my God.
I knew that was good business, so I didn't ruin it
I
for
don't
you.
know why you're having another mid-season finale where you're taking like 2 weeks off. What's the point this week?
I have no idea because the only thing Flash has done is going into reruns, so it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Like if the WB, which now is the
CW.
whatever, doesn't fucking matter. If they were actually going to put something on in that 2 weeks that was like a little two-parter of something for like the 100 or Supernatural that had to be like 2 hours long, that would make sense to me. But the simple fact you're going into hiatus for, well, The Flash for 3 weeks, Arrow for 2 weeks, for no apparent reason whatsoever at all, makes no sense to me. Like, it's just bad marketing. That's what killed SG-1. Thank you very much. That's probably what killed Warehouse 13 as well. That's probably what killed Battlestar Galactica. That's probably what killed SGU. But I'm not going there. Just stop it.
Just went there.
Just run blocks. Just run blocks. Run 2 11-episode blocks. The appropriate length for a season of a show is 20 to 22 episodes. Run 2 10 or 2 11-episode blocks. Call it a day. Let it ride. This shit of gearing it up all through the fall, and we're like super geek. We get 10 solid weeks of our show, and we are fucking into it. And then you're like, oh, I'll see you in February. It's like, holy shit, an entire month off. Then it comes back, and you're like, all right, here we go. 10 more weeks. Yeah! Take 2 weeks off. You're going to hell. Fuck! How many more weeks do I even have? I can't even count it anymore. I'm so fucking retarded. Stop it.
It better not overlap with.
Stop it. Now, I understand why you did that for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That makes perfect sense. Because you brought in Agent Carter. It was like a filler. It was a decent filler.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that's the way it's going to go
Yeah.
for years to come. And that is fine.
Apparently,
because
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is still on the docket to whether or not they're getting a redo.
they're probably not going to get a renew because unless Age of Ultron. Well, Age of Ultron is going to be fucking amazing. And I'm sure the last episode of this season is going to tie directly into it. And it's going to get people re-geeked. And people are going to go back and they're going to get the episode because they missed it. I'm not going to be in that boat. I've seen it all. I'm going to get right through.
Me too. I haven't seen the episode, so
Anyway,
go ahead and spoil it. We got,
hold on. Let's get back to Arrow and finish that up. It was a great episode. They tied it in nicely. I understand what you're saying about them stealing a little bit of Bat storylines, but I like it. I really do. I think they're doing a fantastic job. Like I said, if they would have spread that out any more than one episode, it would have Dawson Creeked it for me, and I might have lost interest. I'm not going to lie, because the entire second season of that show just pissed. I guarantee you 6 to 8 episodes had me thinking, do I really want to continue watching this? And they were about to go down that trail again, and they just completely tied it up, got the little bow on it, and moved on. And that was my favorite thing about the episode is that they cleared it.
So I wonder what this means for Oliver and the Team Oliver, I should say, if he even considers it. Do they all get the proper training? Does he get access to more of the things that? By the way, we've seen the Lazarus Pit.
Yeah, we have. We saw that at
okay.
the beginning of the episode.
Well, a couple of episodes.
Well, the beginning of this one.
Yeah, when he sits, it looks like he's sitting in a hot tub. That's actually Lazarus Pit.
Yeah, that was pretty blatant.
I was watching that. The guy I always watch it explains everything, Charlie, and he was talking about there's so many. Whenever they're on set, there's so many hot tub time machine references that they can't even keep track of them anymore. When they're on they call it the Lazarus set. He makes so many hot tub time machine references. It's great.
Hey, that'd be a fun set to work on because actually the actor that portrays Oliver Queen / the Arrow actually loves lightsabers. He thinks they're like the coolest thing ever.
Go ahead. Sorry, I got something to add to that.
And he actually bought this. Actually, Saberforge built him a custom lightsaber in Arrow Green with an Arrow Green wrapped pommel. So kudos to you guys. I haven't made my final decision on which company I'm going with as far as building my own lightsaber, but kudos to you guys for getting his business because he looks like he's having a lot of fun with it in the vine I saw.
The guy who played Spartacus will be in Flash this season.
Really?
Yes.
As
Weather Wizard?
God. Oh! Where?
I looked hard to see the connection. I Googled it.
Really have to start doing better with supervillain names. I'm sorry. This is just not fun at all. Weather Wizard. That sounds like you don't remember this, and I vaguely remember this. David Letterman's first job was as a weatherman on a little-known local news channel, and back at that point in time, the weatherman on the channel had a puppet because no one took it seriously. That's what, when you tell me the Weather Wizard, that's what I see is some asshole in there in like a fucking Mickey Mouse pointy hat, wearing the red robe, blue hat, and like fucking Fantasia all over the place, guessing what weather is. I'm just saying.
I went. That's what I looked up all the actors, and see, Flash, Weather Wizard, Mark Martin, 2 episodes.
DC, try.
Hey, I'm glad he's at least getting a spot.
Well, good for him that he's getting a spot, but DC, try. Just try. Stop it.
They're trying.
Try. Like,
you can't expose all your best villains because how are you gonna top that? I mean, like I think it's been really hard. That okay, you got first season, not really a great villain. Malcolm Merlyn wasn't bad. Second season, Deathstroke.
Actually, Malcolm Merlyn and Deathstroke pretty top tier villains. Well, second tier villains there.
My point is, this season you have Ra's al Ghul. What's next season? How are you gonna top that? That's my point. How are you gonna top those 2 villains? Those are pretty, very good villains, is what I'm saying.
They bring in Darkseid.
Top that. Yeah, okay. Now you're just not even taking it serious.
I'm taking it serious. I'm taking it as serious. I am taking it as seriously as the guys who sit in front of a dartboard and smoke a pile of weed and try to name DC villains.
I did kind of find a connection to Spartacus and Arrow.
Other than the fact there have been like 3 or 4 guys from Arrow or from Spartacus that have been in Arrow.
Apparently Stephen Amell tried out to be Spartacus and didn't get the spot.
Okay.
Initially. So whether that has something to do with it, or maybe he knew the guys from the casting and he's just like, hey guys, come work with me, you know?
It's still alright. I still have a hard time seeing Captain Boomerang as anything else other than Asher, and I fucking hate him because of it.
Okay. Creator. I wonder, okay, what is this guy?
Creator, writer, director, producer. It could be any.
Well, okay, here's kind of a connection.
It could be a fucking
gap. The guy who's the creator and producer also created and produced Smallville. And Angel.
Well, what does Smallville have to do with Spartacus?
I'm looking that up right now. And he's also doing Daredevil.
And Hats. Yeah, is that out yet?
I don't have Netflix. I have to watch it at my girlfriend's house if it is. So. But so there's kind of a connection to the DC universe, so to speak, with Smallville.
Yeah.
And now he's doing Daredevil, so.
I mean, it's working. I don't hate it, but it's just like I see some of these guys and I hate them so much that I can't see them as anything else, and that's just a personal thing. It's like if the kid who played Joffrey was in anything else, I'd fucking hate him, and I don't even care if he played Superman. I'd fucking hate Superman that day. It's just a personal thing to me.
Cast and crew. Casting. Let's see the people who cast are. No, I don't want to see that.
No, the cast has nothing to do with it. It's got to be like a producer or a gaff or an assistant or an assistant director. It's got to be someone a little higher up to get that kind of pull.
Okay, Jason Warren.
Runner, creator, something. See, this is where you need to do your research beforehand.
Hey, shut up. That's it.
Oh, the director.
Yeah, he directed Spartacus.
Wow, a lot. He's done a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, now the funny thing is that he's directing, and we said what, Arrow?
Yeah.
He's got a lot of
Well, 4 episodes, but
yeah, but still, he's got a lot of other DC shit going on over here because the girl who played the villain in V is now in Gotham.
Mm-hmm.
I
She
mean,
played
we
a
can
lot
go
of
through
voices in a couple of comic books.
Yeah, Gods of the Arena, Blood and Sand.
Flash.
Okay, well that explains that, and then the Flash.
Hmm.
So yeah, that makes sense. I told you it had to be something.
Arena. Legend of the Seeker. I actually love that show. You ever watch that?
The show?
Legend
That
of
was
the
a movie.
No, it's a series. 3 seasons.
That was a show movie. It's based on a book. Oh, look at that segue.
And now for our top 10.
No, actually no, because we had to jump back to Arrow. I didn't get to bitch about fucking Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay, I'm checking at least 2. There's 11 different directors for this. Okay, wow, there's a lot of guys that are involved in some good stuff here. Okay, another one of the directors for Spartacus is a guy named Michael Hunt. Yeah, I know. It's funny. He directed Hercules, the Hercules series, and Xenon, Warrior Princess. So there's your Lucy Lawless connection.
God,
You hate her? Why?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't have a good reason.
No, I'm sorry. He starred in it, not
Kevin Sorbo. I kind of like him. I don't hate him. I don't love him.
Michael Hunt Hurst.
I can't.
Hunt.
My God.
My God. That's saying. Make you say bad things.
What is funny?
Make you say bad things.
Okay, so anyway, while
Okay,
he's
sorry.
preoccupied
No, I'm
with
good.
that,
I'm good. I'm good.
Good.
Go and
Done.
spoil Marvel for me.
you know what? I am, because you're not missing anything. 2 things happened on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this week. One, all of the top heads of Hydra were killed.
Really?
I'm not going to ruin how it happened, because how it happened is pretty cool. But all of them died. All 5 of them are dead.
That like blonde Nazi poster child guy, he was like really old, now he's young. Him too.
Oh, he already died.
Okay.
He died at the end of last season.
That's right. That's right. Or
Season
mid-season,
finale, whatever. No. Yeah, they introduced 5 more people that are apparently the heads of Hydra. They're all dead. And Sky, which we already knew was going to have like super alien human powers, and the nerdy little boy that's having problems with his brain working properly. Fitz. Yeah. He covers
Fritz.
No, Fitz. No, it's
Fitz.
Fitzsimmons,
Okay.
not Fritz. Fitz. Yeah, he covers it up. So she can actually be a normal functioning human part of society. And I don't remember exactly what the thing is, but the black guy and the white girl that were like kind of doing something on the side, they kind of about 25% allude to exactly what they're doing, but they never really get to the point. So
Is that the girl who has an ex-husband in there too?
yeah, with the British guy.
Yeah.
Who's like a complete asshole.
Yeah.
I could relate to very well. Yeah, him. Yeah, that girl and then the black dude that she hangs out with, they allude to it. They said they blew it up online like, oh, total reveal, and I watched it and it was not a total reveal whatsoever at all. It was just kind of an allusion to what's going on. So I'll let you make your own conclusions from that.
Okay.
So overall, you really didn't miss anything. Watch the episode to pick up on the subtle hints of things that are going on in the background, but overall, if you pick it up, you missed this week, just pick it up next week. You'll be fine. You didn't miss enough to like fucking hang yourself at all. Period. I was actually very disappointed. I was expecting for a mid-season beginner that it was going to be amazing, and it wasn't, and it made me sad.
On that topic, I got something else to tell you. They're actually coming out with a new Marvel television show, Marvel Inhumans.
The Inhumans?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? have been my first choice. The Inhumans.
That's the rumor.
I mean, that would be a direct tie-in to Captain America: Civil War, but I mean, that's okay.
I'm just telling you what I read.
I mean, honestly, I would have gone with Clandestine before I would have gone with the Inhumans, but that's just me, or the Young Avengers. Because you can get away with that, because that's a bunch of third-tier fucks that no one gives a shit about. That ain't gonna cost you anything.
Apparently, it will be kind of like, like DC has a crossovers between Flash and Arrow.
Yeah.
Apparently, if Marvel gets a renew, they're gonna have a crossover between those two.
That would where Sky comes into effect.
Yeah. A bird? That's just wind. What was a bird at your window?
Yeah, we have a bunch of fucking starlings eating the cat food. Figure that shit out.
So
there's that.
Oh, I found a nice Easter egg, kinda. You ever heard of the movie Sky High?
Yeah, but it wasn't what I thought it was when I watched it.
About the high school for superheroes?
Yeah, it wasn't what I thought about.
The girl who plays in Flash is one of the smart chicks whose boyfriend is Firestorm. Her fiance is Firestorm.
Yeah.
She played in that movie.
Okay.
She played the girl who can control plants.
Okay.
So, I just thought it was cool. She went from having superpowers to not having superpowers, just being super smart. Okay. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Because this is kind of a dead week for us.
You had a whole list of shit on your little menu there. I mean,
no, I didn't. I had Watchmen and stuff. That's just my list.
Oh, I thought you had like a whole list of shit because I thought we were. Not that we've even stuck to the format of the show at all.
Yeah.
Which I think makes it more fun that way. So
Yeah.
It is what it is. Actually, mad props to Oakley. And not Oakley Vault. I'm pissed off at you guys right now. That's a different thing. Mad props to Oakley.com. I ordered parts for a pair of sunglasses that I bought off a friend in 1996 in the hopes that they would work. Not only did they work, they worked perfectly. I ordered a set of shit, I don't even know what they're called. They fit over the sides. They're the Asian fit glasses, so they're just like the rubber that sticks above your ears and the nose piece for a brand new pair of 2015 M frames. And Oakley, damn it, you haven't changed the way you built the nose piece in 20 years because they fit perfectly on my 96 Sub-Zeros, and you have no idea how happy that made me. And furthermore, the fact that I ordered them Friday morning and I had them in my hands by Saturday afternoon and didn't even pay for overnight shipping, boom. So Oakley.com, you're my thumbs up of the week. That's my new thing.
Interesting.
Hey, Sub-Zeros were wicked, man.
Are they?
I actually have them.
Okay, you want to get to our top 10?
Go.
You want me to go first?
Did I go first last week, or did you go first last week?
You went first. All right. Top 10 this week is top 10
books to film.
Books to film / graphic novels to film.
Counts.
Okay, honorable mentions: Ender's Game and Casino Royale, the first actual James Bond movie or book ever written. It was the first one ever written.
They never had to write a book before. I said they never had to write a book before. It was that awesome.
No, they did. It was first a book, and then they made it into a show. Ian Fleming, I think that's his name.
Really?
Yeah.
Sounds like a director.
So Ian Fleming, yeah, he was just telling about his stories of on His Majesty's service with MI6. But that was the first one. It was written, I think, in the 50s. It was in the 50s. First one was Casino Royale.
Really?
Yeah.
And it was just now made.
Well, I mean, obviously they updated it, made it more modern.
Well, they had to, but yeah, no. Nice fun fact.
And they made one like in the 80s that was supposed to be a spoof called Casino Royale, but it was supposed to be a spoof.
Yeah.
But anyway, and Ender's Game. That's good. That one was close. I had to like push some things around. Okay, so I went off of my personal preference of things that I've read and enjoyed. When it comes to both. So, number 10 is Percy Jackson. Now, the series is not done. Okay, it's not done. So I hold this to have future judgment. So the first movie was really good. The second one, meh. So did they make the next three really good? I could live with that.
Yeah, I could get by with one crappy movie.
Yeah, they can have one.
I could get.
It's not like Aragon where you made the first movie so bad they just scrapped the whole series.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's wait 10 years.
Another honorable mention was on Narnia. I forgot to throw Narnia on there, but I personally never read Narnia, so that's why it's not on my list. Number 9 actually was Ender's Game. I just didn't put the 9 next to it, so I apologize. Ender's Game is number 9. It's good shit. Good shit. Number 8 is 300. 300 is a graphic novel. So that's where it counts for me. Number 7 is Carrie by Stephen King. There's a lot of them that I didn't know were books prior to, but I've not read. Like, for example, Die Hard, Forrest Gump. I've never read Shawshank Redemption. I've never read The Godfather, the book. I've never read those.
Shawshank is so awesome. Book or what, it doesn't even fucking matter.
So there's a handful that I've never read, so in good conscience I couldn't. Watchmen is number 6. I did not read it beforehand, but I read it afterwards. It's so good, man. Number 5, To Kill a Mockingbird. You can hate on all you want. It's not as action packed as everything else, but the book was really good, and their rendition of it on the big screen was actually also very good. It's a modern classic. It is a modern classic. Number 4, Perks of Being a Wallflower.
That was filmed in Pittsburgh.
Yes, it was. And it stars Emma Watson and the kid who plays Percy Jackson.
There's that.
I was telling Jess about it. It's actually, if you ever get a chance, you will sit down and watch. It's kind of a soppy movie, but it's a good movie. It's a good movie. When you see it, I can't explain it. I was trying to explain it to Jess earlier. It's hard.
If I want to cry, I'd read a poem about my dead cat.
Okay. Anyway, Perks of Being a Wallflower. Number 3, and you may not like this, but I love it. Princess Bride.
The movie was fun. I never read the source material. I never read the source material, so I couldn't put it on my list.
Things out,
but the movie was fun. It was fun. I'm not gonna lie. It was a fun movie.
You don't really see what's his name, Carrie Ellis. Always plays villains. Guy who played Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yeah,
him. He's not usually a good guy, but he was a pretty good guy in that movie. Number 2 is a combination. Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. Very good transition from book to movie. One of the best transitions ever. And number 1 is Harry Potter. The movies were so good that it inspired me to read the books. Usually it doesn't happen to people, and that's what inspired me to read the books.
I get to have the books in my hand, which was promised to me last week.
No, I said I'd give you
but you promised me Percy Jackson, and
I'm looking for them. I have the last 3 books. I'm trying to find the first 2.
Underneath your coffee table, they're keeping your Xbox level. I'm fairly certain of that.
I don't know. Well, I'm thinking for your birthday, I'll just buy you the first 2 and then give you all of them. So. If I had the first one, it'd be simple. I'll just give you the first one while I look for the other 3. But I'm pretty sure I'll let the first one to my friend, the first 2 to my friend Gabriel. So. But Harry Potter is one of the it's one of the best modern stories ever written. It's a good adventure. It's really awesome. I can't express to you how good those are. I mean, I know you have your reservations about it. But it's
I'm really not in education anymore, and I probably should get over it. However, I would I'm sorry. I'm gonna
I
be one
think
of
your
those.
child's.
I'm gonna be one of those dads that reads everything my child reads before he reads it. So there's that.
I should give you a bunch of Captain Underpants books too. I think your kids will like it. And Hardy Boys. Hardy Boys. I used to read the shit out of Hardy Boys. My God.
I never got into that. My thing was Encyclopedia Brown. I love the shit out of Encyclopedia Brown. That was way before your time. Actually, the Hardy Boys should have been way before your time too, except for their third incarnation. But whatever. Because we are 9 years separated.
We are, but Harry Potter is my favorite. The transition from books to movies. Lord of the Rings and it are very close, but I just like Harry Potter just a little bit more. So it was such a good transition. It was such a good transition that the guy who played Harry Potter actually never read Harry Potter prior to auditioning for that story. It wasn't, or the movies. It wasn't like he read the books and then like, oh, I want to be Harry Potter now. No, he just auditioned for a part, and then he's like, oh, I've never heard of Harry Potter. Let me just try out for this. So I thought that was pretty cool. Like I said, number 10 was Hunger Games. No, man, that was the one that was supposed to be number 9. It was Hunger Games.
Did you figure it out?
Yeah, it wasn't Ender's Game. Number 9 was Hunger Games. I'm sorry. I had two number. Now I look at it, I have 2 number 10s.
All right.
Hunger Games. I liked the. Apparently, I gotta read the last book, but I read the first 2, and I like it. I like it a lot. I think Katniss Everdeen needs to go join Marvel and team up with. He needs to go join DC and team up with Arrow and help him out, even though it's like probably like 1,000 years in the future.
That'd be helpful.
And I am. But okay, good. Buddy, go ahead.
All right, my list. There are the only honorable mention I would throw in there is Hunger Games, only because I haven't read the books, but the movies seem to translate very well. So.
No Harry Potter.
Okay, number 10 would be Divergent. I have not completed the first book, but it seems like it translates very well, and it seems like there's a lot of information crammed in to the movie, but it's almost something you can't get around. You almost have to cram in order to get it all in there, in order to create something that's going to make a lot of money very quickly. And I'll get into it later. Anyway, number 9 on my list is Adventures in Wonderland. I thought it was. I loved the books when I was a kid, and seeing it as a cartoon when I was growing up, and then see it translated so brilliantly and blatantly. And I know Johnny Depp was in it, and that's probably a strike against it, but it was beautiful. It was just the way I imagined that world in my dreams. I never understood why the Cheshire Cat was drawn in the colors he was when I was a kid, because that wasn't his colors. He wasn't purple and gray. He was blue, but whatever. They fixed that, and I absolutely loved it. A History of Violence, which was a graphic novel, and it translated very well. I only went off of things that I've actually read, not things that I found out were books later. But I thought A History of Violence translated very, very well from graphic novel, just like page by page reading it. It looked just like the movie, only not in black and white. It was pretty awesome. I'm very happy with that. And then I Hope They Serve Beer in Hell, which was a great excerpt.
Man,
Great. That movie was a great excerpt from an even funnier book. Like, it wasn't the whole entire book, because there was so much funnier shit in the book. But that excerpt that they made the movie, which was like, honestly, maybe 4 chapters of an entire book, hilarious. I laugh my ass off every time I watch it. I laugh my ass off every time I read it. Right.
I cannot believe I missed that one.
After that, I got to go with Chronicles of Narnia, because it translated a lot better than what Disney tried to do originally, which was Remember the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and Bedknobs and Broomsticks. That didn't translate so well, and maybe because it was the shitty animation, I don't know, or just the way it was done with cartoons and people. I think that was Bedknobs and Broomsticks. But the way they redid it's fantastic. And granted, they tried to condense, good God, what was it, 9-10 books into 3 movies? There's so much more that they could have done with it, and it makes me sad that they just kind of like did this and stopped. Because The Wizard and the Wars is like one of the best, and they just, fuck that. That's a prequel.
What do they have? Back, Prince Caspian, and what's the third one?
Voyage of the Dawn Treader.
Yeah.
That's all they did, and there was a lot better stories in there than that. After that, I have Days of Future Past, which was technically the 6th X-Men movie.
Yeah.
Counting the 2 Wolverine movies. And and I'm sure there'll be an argument that it wasn't exactly the way the comic book was written.
No.
I think it was a
Wait a second. That was number 7.
3,
2 X-Men movies. 7.
6. 3 X-Men movies, 2 Wolverine movies.
2 Wolverine. First Class.
Then Dave. 7. Okay, yeah. While it did not follow the comic book or the graphic novel specifically, I think they did the best they could with the source material to make it viable to the universe that they had pre-created and had to fix. Thank you, Bryan Singer, for fixing your stupid shit that you fucked up to begin with. God bless you. That's why you're on my list. After that is John Carter, A Princess of Mars. Now, that's not what it says on the damn Blu-ray sitting in my bedroom, but the original novel written back in 1930 something. So awesome and so good. And it was a series of short stories. It wasn't just one. But the movie is based off of the first one, which was John Carter, A Princess of Mars. I thought it translated very well. I thought they did a lot of nice things with it to get it on the screen and make it viable to a 20th, 21st century audience. Thought it worked out very well. After that, Kick-Ass.
I didn't think that was a graphic novel. That's why I didn't put it.
Well, after a series of comic books comes out, usually the next step is they just put it into one book and they graphic novel.
I just didn't know it was graphic novel. That's why.
Yeah, so I thought that was awesome. I thought it was fun, and it's kick-ass and fuck Hit Girl. Seriously? Oh, Daddy, I'm just fucking with you. I want some bullets. That's the best. Love it. That's a great translation. Then after that, number 2, Game of Thrones. Books, technically film. It's a TV show, but it's film. They've done a great job with it. I started reading the first book, and from what I've read, it's translated very nicely, and I'm very happy with it.
I didn't know we were doing TV shows, so I gladly would have thrown that in. Plus, Under the Dome would have been in it too. That's a Stephen King book.
Well, film is film.
You said movies, but okay.
Okay. Well, I wrote top 10 books to film under podcast 15, and that's exactly what I put last week as we were sitting here.
Spartacus is also a graphic novel.
There you go. And on the number 1 is going to be LOTR, and not The Hobbit, the original, the Lord of the Rings series they did. That was the closest. The Hobbit got way too expanded. They could have done it in 2 movies. They didn't have to do it in 3. Not that and I haven't seen any of them either.
Also, The Hobbit was also written towards kids, while Lord of the Rings was written towards not so much kids, but a little bit more mature audience. So.
And dishonorable mention, because I can do that, because it's our show and I'm allowed to make any decision I want. Aragorn, fuck you, you sons of bitches. Go to hell. I cannot wait to watch you burn. Yeah. You fucked up something beautiful. And you know what? You didn't even start out that badly. I understand the dragon having to grow magically in like a minute and a half. I get it. You got a lot of shit to go through. Let's speed through this. That was fine. You had me. I wasn't pissed off at that point in time. I get pissed off when you get the further door and it looks more like a goddamned refugee camp than it does a beautiful city carved out of the rock with a sapphire diamond cresting its top to let the light shine through brilliantly. Seriously? How are you going to miss that fucking key plot point, you dumb sons of bitches? And Christopher Paolini, how in the hell did you even sign off on that shit? Why did you even give him approval? You fucking ruined it. You had something brilliant. It would have translated beautifully to film. Hell, the first book could have been 3 damn movies. You could have made a 9-episode trilogy and then 3 more to follow with the Inheritance book. Now you just flushed your whole shit down the drain. Damn you son of a bitch. Okay, I'm over.
Okay. Are you done?
I'm a little bit aggravated right now.
Yeah.
But I think I'll get over it.
That was expected.
Do you understand why I get aggravated over that?
I do. What's your top 10 next week? Yeah, written down. So.
I do have it written down. Top 10 next week. I think it's randoms with a Z. Podcast 16. Worst movies I've paid to see.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I got to think about that one.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm up to 7.
Can I really see your list real quick?
Yeah, you can. You're going to disagree with 2 of them. Because you're going to be like, no, that shit was funny. And I'm like, no, it wasn't. It made me sad.
I agree with a handful of them, but there's definitely 2 of them I disagree with.
Yeah, I know the exact 2 that you're disagreeing with, but that's besides the point.
Well, no, 3 of them I actually disagree with.
Please don't tell me it was Swim Fan.
Hey.
Because that was terrible.
Hey, look, you gotta look at me.
It was terrible.
Well, it's not that bad.
It was the other one.
We could go through. What? That movie was hilarious.
No, it wasn't. I didn't even laugh. Me and my wife didn't laugh once.
Didn't laugh. Funniest movies
ever. Didn't laugh once. Anyway, kids, that's it. You're done.
Right.
Next week we'll have Gotham,
Arrow, Flash,
no,
Marvel's and Shield.
No, they don't come back till after. We got another week off from that.
Damn it.
So we have Arrow and Agents of Shield. No, Gotham.
I'll catch up on
Agents of
Sleepy
Shield.
Hollow too. We'll talk about that.
Okay. Walking Dead.
I didn't watch it this week.
Oh,
I tried.
you're killing me. You're 3 weeks behind now.
No, I'm not. I'm completely caught up to the one that happened this Sunday.
Okay.
It's
a pretty good one.
When the gay guy found them and took him to his place, and
Rick has a great moment at the end of this week, and I was really hoping to discuss it. Like the last 5 minutes of this episode, wow, just wow. And it has nothing to do with the action.
Tried
it
to
has
watch
to do with
my computer was being retarded.
Just what Rick says at the end of this episode is just like, Raggy. Oh yeah, I even brought up the authors of the books just in case I needed it to combat my point, but I didn't need it because we saw eye on it, so it doesn't matter.
Okay. Anything else? Kind of a short podcast this week.
Well, yeah, but we're gonna have a lot longer podcast next week because podcast. Because we're basting fucking Patriots.
The bastards.
Shout out to Chris Hardwick. Chris Hardwick. After midnight or at midnight, hilarious. Hilarious. I've been recording it, throwing it on the DVR. It's absolutely hilarious. Kevin Smith was on it 2 nights ago and just made me smile because I just love Kevin Smith. And shout out to something else. I forget what it was. Oh, it doesn't matter. I'll catch up with it next week. Point is, keep watching. And actually, no, next week we're going to have a lot of football talk because free agency starts on Tuesday, so there's going to be a lot of moves made at the beginning of the week.
We might have to do two podcasts.
Next week?
Yeah, just have like one 30, 40-minute sports one, and have another one.
Yeah, football's going to be a big part of it next week with free agency starting and contracts finalized on Tuesday. So
free agency.
All right, so kids, have fun, enjoy.
See ya.
Peace.